Okay, so here we go. So it goes here, write 0.03 as a fraction, that's just 3 hundredths. Okay, this one here, write this to the nearest hundred, that's 1,000. So this is the nearest hundred, so will that be closer to 500 or 600? So it's 4,600. Let's look at the next one. I'm going to go through this pretty rapid so that you can look at it later. Now, 7 liters into milliliters. You should know there's 1,000 milliliters in a liter, so that will be just 7,000 milliliters. Okay. This has a percentage. You've got a calculator, so just go in your calculator and press it into a percentage. But whenever you want anything into a percentage, you times it by 100. So that's just 20%. Okay. Now, question 5. Here is the list of numbers. So you got this list here. From this list, write down a prime number. Well, straight away, 5 is a prime number. Has only factors 1 in itself. From the list, write down a square number. 3 times 3 is 9. So I'm going to put 5 there, 9 here, because that's 3 times 3. And this only has factors 1 and 5. I'm just going to put that there. And 3 times 3 is 9. From this list, write down a multiple. Write down, from the list of numbers, write down a multiple of 10. What's a multiple of 10? Well, 2 times 10 is 20. Job done. So these ones you should be smashing straight away. They're just simple 1 markers, just refreshing what you know. Don't forget you got a calculator, so make sure you get your calculators handy. So here it goes. Here's the list of 4 numbers in a sequence. Write down the next number in the sequence. So what's going on here? It's going down by 4, going down 4, going down 4. So you go down 4 again, it's going to be minus 3. Go down 4 again, it's going to be minus 7. You get me? So next one, explain why you got, how you got this answer. Just goes down in 4s. No, don't need to. Don't do necessary. Just write goes down in 4s. It's too early for nth term. Nth term will come if it does come later in the paper. Okay, unless it tells you specifically write nth term. You just say it goes down in 4s. Work out the 10th term in the sequence. So we already done what we done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Job done. Don't spend too much time doing algebra and stuff like that when you can just simply, it's not long to go from there to there. We're good? Okay, next one. So this is very simple. Just multiply the numbers first. 3 times 5 is 15. Now you should have it in alphabetical order. F, G, just put it like that. That's it. Systematic way of writing things down. Job done. There should be no multiplication signs between them. This one, you've got, now usually when you times in and the base is the same, you add the powers, but don't forget there's an imaginary 1 there. Anything by itself has a power 1. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be k to the power 4. Okay, just be careful on that one. Some people tend to put zeros there, but they're not zeros. If it was 0, anything to the power of 0 is what? Can you remember what is k to the power 0? 1. That's right. So keep that separate. Don't get that confused. Right, look at this shape. It goes here. So it goes here. The area of each square is 1 centimeter squared. Write down the name of the shape. What type of shape is that? Parallelogram. Parallelogram. Rhombus. Now 1 minute, since you said that, rhombus, don't forget a rhombus has all the sides are the same. It's like a square pushed over. This is a rectangle pushed over. That's a square pushed over. Okay, just be careful. Work out the area of the shape. Well, you could just chop that up and put it there. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Job done. We're okay with that? Yeah. So again, you shouldn't spend too much time on the first. I think up to about question 10, you should be smashing it like we are here, and then it gets a bit more thinking. Now we're starting to probably think a bit here. Here's the triangle ABC. So you got those measurements. You got that angle 90. So that's ADB is 90. It's telling you that's perpendicular height. It's pointing that out for you. Work out the area of the triangle. Now don't forget, area of the triangle is half times base times perpendicular height. So that base here going all the way along there is that plus that is 45. So it's going to be a half times 45 times the height, which is 20. Now don't forget you got a calculator. I haven't, so I'm just going to do half of 20 is 10. 10 times that is 450. But can you make sure you got that on your calculator? 450 meters squared. Make sure you know how to type it in your calculator. Check my maths because I could be wrong. And just let's move on. Okay, it goes here. On the centimeter grid below, draw to scale ABC using 1 centimeter as 5 meters. So we know that's 20. We know that's 45. So 20 from there to there is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20. Job done. And then from there we've got 30 going that way. So that's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And from there to there it's going to be 15. I should have done it a bit more that side. 5, 10, 15. And that's it. Then just use your ruler. So that's terrible, but I apologize. I'm just rushing this. Are we good with that? If you want, you can even put that dotted line down there. But you please use a ruler. If you don't use a ruler, you get criticized. You take a mark, they'll take a mark, easy mark off you there. Okay, question 10. Now it's starting to get a bit interesting where we need to start putting our caps on and thinking a bit. So what it says is that's the angle. Now it might say reason. Yes, it does. Work at the size of CED. CED. So work at that size. Give reasons on each step. Now first of all, I'm going to put 74 here. And what's my reason? So I'm going to say angle DCE equals 74 and put my reason opposite angles. Opposite angles are equal. We're good? Okay, so we're done with that one. Now, what can you tell about these two dash? What does that mean? They're equal sides. If they're equal sides, you can draw a line of symmetry down the middle. That means that angle is going to be the same as that angle. So that angle is going to be 74. Now the reason you got to put, first of all, right angle CDE is equal to 74, and I'm going to put my reason is isosceles triangle. Okay, so I've got two reasons there, and now my last reason, what I'm going to use here, guys. Exactly, so I'm going to do 74, add 74, gives me 8, 14, and then I'm going to say angle CED is equal to 180 minus 148, which is going to give me 32, yeah? And my reason is angles in triangle sum to 180. Now you got to write this. This will be about 4 marker. Okay, how many marks? 4 marker, yeah. So you need to be specific that you give the reasons. The easiest part of here is not writing the reasons and losing half the marks, half easy marks. Right, so let's okay, yeah, the table shows the lengths of these exams. So you got different exams, different length time. Work out how many minutes longer the maths exam than the geography. So geography is 1 hour 20 minutes. Now 90 minutes is 1 hour and 30 minutes. We all good with that, yeah? So that's going to be 10 minutes longer. We're good? Yep, geography and maths is 10 minutes longer. Maths is 10 minutes longer. Now next one, it goes here. Work out the ratio, length of paper 1 in English, length of paper 2 in English. Give your answer simplest form. So here 1 3/4 is I'm going to do it in minutes because it's ratios. I want them in the same unit, so I'm going to change this into minutes. I'm just first of all change that to 1 hour, and 45 of an hour is 45 minutes. We're good? And then 60 plus 45 is 105. Okay, this one, that's going to be 2 hours and how many minutes? Quarter of hour is 15 minutes. And that's going to be 2 lots of 60s is 120, 120, 135. So now they're all in minutes. So paper 1 is 105. Paper 2 is 135. I don't need to write minutes now because I know they're in minutes. So we're all good in the same units. So what goes into both of them? Straight away 5 goes into both of them. Okay, there might be a bigger number than that, but what I see straight away is 5 going into both of them. How many 5s into 100? Well, I know there's 25s in 100, so that's going to be 21. Okay, and how many 5s go into here? Well, that's 7 5s in 35 plus 20, 27. Now, if you look at these two, anything familiar in those? Is there any numbers? 3, okay, good. How many 3s go into 21? 7. And how many 3s into 27? And that's it, job done. Can stop here because this is a prime number. Unless this was a multiple of a prime number, if that's not a multiple of a prime number, we can't cancel that any further. We've got no common factors other than 1. Okay, and 1 does not simplify any further. So that's it, 7, and write clearly 7 to 9. Okay, what it says here, Kyle receives 25% extra time for her exam. Sorry, Kylie, 25% extra time. Kylie starts her geography exam at 9:07. Kylie uses all her extra time. Work out the time geography exam will finish for her. Right, so first of all, geography time is 1 hour 20 minutes. I'm just going to write, what I'm going to do is 1 hour 20 minutes. I'm going to convert it into 1 hour 20. 60 plus 20 is 80. Now, she gets an extra 25%, which is a quarter, an extra quarter. What's a quarter of that?
20.
That's it. So 20 plus the 80 gives how many minutes? 100 minutes. All good with that? And if we change that into hours now, how many hours in 100 minutes? We had it earlier, I think. Did we have? No. So we got 60 minutes, which is 1 hour, and 40 minutes. We're good? Right. So first of all, let's add an hour. So if you add an hour on there, that's going to give me 10. And then add the 40, so that's going to be 47 a.m. You okay with that? Yeah, you got to get a few marks for this 20 minutes here, then this conversion, and then adding it on. So 10. Make sure you write down a.m. next to it because they want it in that kind of form. Okay. This 24-hour clock will give you 24 hours, so just be careful. A fruit shop. A fruit shop sells. By the way, am I going through this too fast so you're understanding what I'm doing? We're good? Okay. Make sure you go back and look at this because now it's getting a bit tricky. I might give you a bit of time, a break at a time where you're going to do this. You should have done this anyway. I'll give it you for homework. A fruit shop sells apples, bananas, oranges and peaches. The cost of apples to the cost of bananas is that. The cost of oranges to the peaches is that. The price of a banana is 18p. Harriet has 5 pounds. Work out the maximum number of apples Harriet can buy. Okay, so apples to bananas. Let's just do that first. So we got 5 to 2. Okay. So we've got 5 to 2 and bananas are 18. So we multiplied that by, what's the multiplier there? Is 9. So if we do the multiplier here by 9, we'll get 45. Okay, so that tells me that if apples are 18p, bananas are 18p, apples will be 45p. Are we okay with that? Yeah? Go on, speak up. What's the matter?
No, I was just asking if you think either in place 45.
Alright, we'll discuss that later, man. You're like talking about cost of living. Talk about this question. Harriet has £5. Work at the maximum number of apples Harriet can buy. So how are we going to do this? We got 500 pennies divided by 45. Can you just do that on your calculator? 500 divided by 45. You should be able to get, well, definitely going to get 10, 11. I'm going to get 11 something. Right, but 11 you can't go over. Do you understand me? So 11.1, whatever you got. So that's going to be, that's the maximum 11 apples. Yeah, those apples are expensive, aren't they? I'm going for the banana, mate. Right, okay. John buys 1 orange and 1 peach, and the total price is 67p. That's a tricky one. Work out the cost of the orange. Now, before we do this, whether orange is 4 that is 5. Now what's the total here? If we did in pennies, if they were, that'd be 9. Now their total cost is 63. So what do I times 9 to give me 63? 7. So if I multiply each of these by 7, you get 7, 14, 29, 28 and 35. So let me just double check which one. Peach, what does she want to work at the cost of orange? Orange will be 28 pence. Now remember that was orange and that was peach. If you want, put that topping, put that heading at the top so you know which order it's in. Okay. Next one, 12. There it is, Best Buy. We might need to do this on Best Buy. Get your calculator out. Let's have a work at this. Cinema has 3 different popcorn sizes below. Small, medium, large. Work at the size of the popcorn. Best value for money, okay? So here we go. Now before we start, we need to make the sizes 1/3 more popcorn than medium one. Okay. We need to try and make the sizes. What's the third of that, by the way? Yeah, 50. So add that onto there. That's going to give me 200 grams. So it's as large as 1/3 more, 1/3 more popcorn than the medium one, and that's 150 grams in there, and there's 95. This is the tricky one. 95 grams in here. We need to work out the Best Buys here. So how are we going to which one can we? I'm going to have to look at this, aren't I? This cup, actually, before we do anything, 40% cheaper than the medium. So 10%. Just, can somebody do that for me? If that's 40% cheaper, what price are we paying off that? You can do that in one calculation. Anybody tell me? What do I times this by?
0.6.
Good. 0.6. Can you times that by 0.6? Because if you take a 100%, take away 40%, you get 60%. So 0.6. Say again. 2.88. So you got it wrong, yeah? So make sure, can you check it on your calculator? 2.88 is the price of this. Alright? Alright. So now, best value for money. How can we do this? We can do it a couple of ways. You can do it, because they're not going to give me a nice, because it's a calculator, so you're better off doing it this way. What you could do is change them all into pennies if you want. Do 288 shared by, or do it in pounds, whatever you want. I'm just going to give you better numbers. Do 288, that's in p's, divided by 95 grams. So can somebody tell me? So if I do that on my calculator, 288 divided by 95, that's going to tell me it's 3.03 pence per gram of popcorn. So that's the small. The medium is going to be 480 pence over 150 grams. So everybody do that quickly. Divided by 150. 3.2 pence per gram. So far, well, I'll ask you in a second which one's cheaper. The large one's got to be 625 divided by 200. And I'm going to get 2.08 pence per gram. So which one is the best buy here, lads? Large is the best buy. It's the cheapest by miles. 2p a popcorn. Actually, is that? Sorry, I've done that. I used 200 there. I've done it wrong in my calculator. My by 625 divided by 200. Just testing you.
Here's what I found.
Let me just. That was actually 3.125 pence per gram. Okay, now we got that. Makes a massive difference. So which one is the cheapest? Small is the cheapest. That is much cheaper per gram than any of these, so small is the best buy. Okay, yes sir.
How did you get 0.6 on the
How did I get, sorry?
the 0.6 on the medium popcorn?
0. Oh, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because it was 40% cheaper than the medium, so that's going to be 100%. Take away 40%, which is 60%. Now the 60% is the same as 0.6. So that price there is going to be 0.6 of that price because it's 40% cheaper. Yeah. Okay. Any more questions? Keep them coming. Okay. Question 14. Table shows the numbers of adults and children visiting a theme park during one weekend. So there he goes, adult children, one weekend they're visiting. Write down fraction of these attending Saturday. That were adults. Give your answer in its simplest form. So, write down the fraction of these attending on Saturday. That were adults. So we want that as a fraction of all the total. Can you add up all these together, please? And tell me what is the total on Saturday and Sunday, but we just want to know what is the fraction, but let's add up all the total there. So you should have got 375 add 493 add 330 add 420 1600, so that's going to be 357 out of 1600. And now it goes, put it in its simplest form, so 357, just do this on your calculator please, put it on a fraction, 1600, press equals, it doesn't simplify any further, that is the simplest form. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be over 850 though?
Write down the fraction of these attending on Saturday. Oh, sorry, attending on Saturday, my bad. Yes, you're right. So that's plus that is going to be, is that 800, is it? 850, my bad. I read it wrong. So that's going to be 357 adults attending on Saturday. So that's going to be 850 divided by 850. So that is 21 out of 50. Okay, sorry about that. Attending on Saturday were adults. My bad, read it wrong. Okay, good. Next one. Taylor says on Saturday the proportion of visitors that were adults is higher than the proportion on Sunday. Proportion of visitors on Saturday, the proportion of visitors that were adults were higher. Well, we already know that's 21. If we change that into a percentage, what's that going to be as a percentage? 42%. I'm just going to put it out there, that's 42%. Okay, I should have done that at the bottom. So let's do this one then. That plus that is going to be 750, yeah? That's the total. So let's say adults 330 over 750. Let's just simplify that. 330 over 750. So we got here, this is 44%. And this one was 40 on, this is Sunday. On Saturday, it was 42%. On Saturday, the proportion of visitors were higher. It's wrong. So Taylor is wrong. You okay with that? Because on Sunday they had a higher number of adults. You two, you're not listening. You asked me to do this. I'm just looking at you. I mean, this should have been done during the holidays anyway. I'm running through this so that I'll get through the whole paper. So I appreciate you listen, because you should be learning. You've got exams in a couple of days' time. Did you understand how I got that? How Taylor was wrong? Yeah? It's Saturday. Sunday was a higher proportion. Now, the ticket price for an adult is £35. The ticket price for a child is 15% less than the adult. Can you quickly work out what that will be? I showed you a quick way of showing it. Work out the amount of money theme park will receive from the tickets over the weekend. Okay. So can you quickly have a go at that? I'm going to do it. So you lot quickly do it. Have a go on your piece of paper. See if you get the same as me. going to do this in silence whilst you've got your heads down and doing this, and then you can look up. Now it is a calculator, please use your calculators. Don't try to do this by paper. Pen, just simply use your calculator.
So,
Yes sir.
when you say like the top number for children, you say 492.
Yeah. So I've added them together, so there's 913 children here and 687 adults. Then you multiply by the price. I'm looking at you two, and I'm going to be checking what you've done. At the front. Again, when you're adding up, I know I lined it up, but you just add it up on your calculator, please. Don't be a hero. Yeah, so 51 grand, yeah, 51,206. Man, that's some kind of serious theme park, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, that's what we gotta do. We gotta make a theme park, guys. Ching on the weekend. Right, we're good? Nice one. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now this one is always comes up. I'll eat me hat if this does not come up. Something like this is gonna come up either on paper 2 or paper 3. So I suggest you know how to do the average, and sometimes it comes as an average like this, or sometimes it comes up without the intervals, without this class interval. Estimate the mean. Before we do this, there's only one little trick we need to know. What do we need to know here? We need to find the middle number, midpoint. MP, midpoint, so that's 10, 30, 50, and 70. So we're done with this. Times those together, and let's add up the total frequency. Again, there you don't need to add up, but you can double check it. That should be 40 because that's the total number of sheep there are. But just quick maths, that doesn't add up to 40. Table shows masses of 40 sheep, 30, 40, that's 50. Right, that question should say 50, so that's wrong, yeah.
So what would happen in the exam if the question was wrong?
No, that won't happen. They double, triple check it. I mean, somebody's been really nice and done this quickly for us. they've made a past paper. So I mean, I made already several errors already on this, as you see. So they just rushed it so that you can have a predicted paper. So it won't happen in the exam. Okay, I'll show you that. So that will be 50. Can you see that? They should be the total, the same as that. Yeah. So now we times those together. So 6 times 10, 60. 30 times 15 is 450. You should be doing this on a calculator. 50 times 25 is 1250. And 4 times 7, 28, 280. And then once you get those, can you add them up? So I got 60, add 450, add 1250, add 280, 240, 2040. So that's the mass. That's how all the sheeps weigh 2040 kg. And there are 50 sheep. So what is the estimate for the average mass? So you do 240 divided by 50. And again, just do it on your calculator. Make it simple. So 40.8 kg is a sheep. That's a big sheep, right? Okay, 40.8. Okay, done with that. Next one we're coming up to is solving equations. Now, whenever you've got solving equations like this, you should really, try to take all the x's to one side and all the numbers to the other side. So first of all, say to yourself, what is this x here? Is that a positive x or a negative x? Is that positive or negative? It's positive, so we want to take it to the other side. What's the opposite? Plus 2x? Minus 2x. So we've done that. So 18x, take away 2x is 16x. Happy days. Minus 5 equals 7. That's a positive 7. Now I want to grab this, which is a minus 5, take it to the other side. Always take the sign in front. If there's no sign in front, it's a positive. Okay? So opposite of minus 5 is plus 5. So that's going to be 7 plus 5 is 12. And that's going to be 16x is going to be equal to 12. Now, I want x. What is this 16 doing to x? It's being multiplied. What's the opposite of multiplying? Is divide it. So that just 16 divided by 16 is just 1x. And that's just going to be 12 over 16. So what goes into there? Half them. That's going to be 6 over 8. And then half it again, which is going to be 3 over 4, 3/4. So you can just say x equals 3/4. Or if you want, 0.75. Don't need to change it, but if you want, I know some people prefer to write it in decimals. Okay, we're getting there. If we get the whole paper done, that'd be great. So here's a bag, contains red, blue, green. Table shows counter is taken out random. Probability shown of red. Probability selected of blue is twice. Now probability selecting of blue is twice. I'm going to call that 2x as the probability selecting green. So that's just going to be x. Complete the table. Now, so that's good. What do we know about the whole probability? What does probability add up to? 1. So we know that this plus that, which is 3x, plus 0.46 is going to equal 1. So take that off. Again, use your calculator. 3x on your calculator, you should have got 0.54. Then divide it by 3. X gives you, come on, somebody doing 0.18. 8, 16, 24, yep. So we're still not at the woods yet. We haven't finished. It says complete the table. Well, that's going to be 0.18. And what will this be? 0.36. Who said 32? Young man, concentrate. Okay, now, yeah, so if you put the x's there, just make sure you put the numbers underneath. It's all good. Don't worry, the examiner will know exactly what you've done. Now, there are 350 counters in the bag. Work out the number of red counters in the bag. So, what simple maths I'm going to do? What I'm going to do, boys? 350, what I'm going to multiply that by? 0.46. Somebody do that for me, I'll do it. Let's do it together. Together. Alright, calm down. Right. So what you get? 161? So that's how many red counters we're going to get. Okay. Listen, son, don't make me come at the back over there now. Are you concentrating? Okay. Right. 18. So what we're going to do here, we're going to times this, each of these by x. X times x is x squared. X times minus 6 is minus 6x. Then times each one by minus 3. Now be careful, this is the biggest error. I want you to all shout this together so I know that we don't make the same error. What's going to come next, please? Right, synchronize a bit. All together, next one, please. Oh, I got plus and minus 18. Hands up if you think it's a plus 18. And hands up if you think it's a minus 18. I like what you're doing, G. That you're doing it on your calculator, which you should do. If you're in doubt, it should have been a positive 18. And that's what you should do. It's a minus 3 times minus 6. It takes 2 seconds to do it on your calculator. Only one person double checked it on the calculator. The rest of you are like, eh? Come on, please. Don't let me down. Don't let yourself down. This is, you only get one chance, so make it right. You only get one chance, so make it right. You know what I mean? Lyrics. Okay, so we're going on to 19. What's going on here? So this is an ordinary, this is the, or write it in an ordinary number. This minus 4 just means there are 4 zeros in front of this number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then write this number 7, 2. Now what have I forgotten? Decimal. Where does the decimal go? In front of the first 2 zeros. Yeah. So the 0 goes there. So that's all you need to do. When it's a minus, you just think of how many zeros there are, put them in front, write the number, and don't forget to add the decimal point. Now, this works slightly different. So which number do we have to first of all write here in standard form? 6.2. Now, 04. Now, be careful. You've got to write all those digits. You can't just round it up. Then times it to the 10. Now, this time, how many jumps? It went from there to the end. How many did it jump over? 5 numbers. It jumped over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So make sure, just take your time where it's going to go from. Now, give your answer. Can you just do this on your calculator? I'm not even, it's only 2 marks. Can we all do it on a calculator? Can they're just trying to see? Hello? Please. Gentlemen. Who's not paying attention? Huh? Young man, I'm getting sick of your banter. Right. Right, first of all, Mandam, listen. Did you get 9600000? Did you all get that, yeah? Excellent. Now, that's not in standard form. So you get 1 mark up to this point. Come on, 9.6 times 10 to the power. Yes. You know what I mean? That's how we do it. What's good? Hey! Concentrate. There ain't long to go now. Right. Gentlemen. Okay. Can you get your calculators up? Because this is, I really want you to concentrate here. This really messes up where people mess up. So this is where you get your calculator out. Now before you do anything, can you just type this as I'm telling you? Can you do open bracket, close bracket, put a square, plus 2, open bracket, close bracket, minus 5. Have you all typed that in your calculator, please? I'm doing it the same. Open bracket, close bracket, put a square, 2, open bracket, close bracket, minus 5. Are we okay with that, gents? Now, can you use your cursor? Now, when I talk about cursor, you got this kind of cursors like this, going that way and that way. Go back on the left. Hello? Right, now fill in your brackets. First bracket we've got to fill in is a minus 4. Can you fill in minus 4? Now, gentlemen. All right, give me 2 minutes. Right, 3, yeah? Right, next one, please. Fill them in. Can other people also fill them in? I'm just looking at some people just sitting there. I just like doing now. Did you say -2?
-5 next.
All right, come on then. I'm just going to keep on asking. I'm going to ask you because where's your calculator?
-5.
All right, calm down. Right, what's the next one? -7. Next one. Did somebody say -7?
That's -6.
Who said -7?
Dave. Next one's -5. Jim.
-5. Then you should get -2, and then you get 3.
Yeah.
Now, why did I do that so fast? How did I do that so fast? Once I knew that 6 and that -5 came, how could I fill those straight away? Because of symmetry. They are symmetrical at that point because this is a quadratic curve which will go up and then back, down then up. Okay? So, listen. So, we're now going to plot these points and then show you how it works. So, -4, 3. So you got to be careful when you plot this. -3, -2, -2, -5. Excuse me. -1, -6. Oh, I need to go a bit down. -6. Then it was 0, -5. Then it was 1 was what?
1 minus 5.
And 3 was. Come on. Now we've done that. Now loads of people just plot that and forget to plot the line. I'm watching you.
So is that line okay?
Right, you're lucky this is getting recorded, right? Right, listen. This goes through here. Take your time, take your time, take your time. And then make it. Take. Right, there you go. Bit of a struggle we got there. Right, now. So that curve is going lovely jubbly, like that, all around. Don't forget it nice and smooth. What it goes here, use your graph to find an estimate to the solution. When does that equal to 1? Now it says solutions, make sure it wants 2 values there, solutions. So equals 1, there's 1. I'm going to produce this in a different color. Right, there's 1. So if I draw a straight line, make sure you use a ruler please, because I know I'm just short of time, so I haven't got a ruler here. So if we were to estimate, anybody tell me what roughly those would they be? So what's that? 1.7.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? Minus 3.7, isn't it? Oh, because they're going up, yeah? Who said to skip that question?
No, I was just, now it looks easy.
It's so easy. Don't skip this. This is the money maker. Now, to think, I tell you what, this is not hard. I told you, get your calculator, open bracket, close bracket, put the powers. They were filling, they were jotting, and it's simple after that. You just, all right. Anyway, now this is a no, it's not. Actually, you're right. It is a rhombus. My bad. Describe fully. Excuse me. Sorry, I forgot to say. Everybody start talking together. We've got 5 minutes. Can you give me 5 minutes? Yeah. So with that, this is rotation. Let me just see if there's more interesting questions coming up. Before that, can I just work a bit backwards? Is that all right? Because that's straightforward. You should be able to show that. By the way, that's a rotation, and you just got to use your tracing paper. Make sure you ask for tracing paper how that's rotated. Okay, so it goes from A to B, so that's going to be clockwise, 90 degrees. You can tell that straight away. You just got to find the point of where it's rotated. Enlargement, you just got to enlarge it from this scale factor, and I'll come back and enlarge that if I get time. But more importantly, let's do this because I've done some of these with you. Make this the subject. How do you make M the subject? Same as solving equations. What's the opposite? So you want to leave M on this side. Everything else is on the other side. So let me start with M. M is times by X. Then you add 4. What's the last thing we did? Add 4. So we undo that first. Take away 4. So we got MX equals K minus 4. M times X. What's the opposite of times X? Divide by X. So M is going to equal. Come on. That's it. Simple 2 marks. Happy days. You are talking at the back over there. And I'm just like frustrated because you could get 2 marks on here. I'm going to come back to this one because this one looks a bit more easier to do on paper. So the mass of a phone is 150 grams to the nearest gram. Write the interval to the nearest right. So come on, say that again. To the nearest gram. So I start. No man, 139.5. Flipping nearest unit, innit? Yeah. Don't forget, I know you did. That's why you're not concentrating too much chit chat. You think you're finished now, and that's what happens in the last part of the question when it's easy questions coming up. You give up, and you could easily get a 1 mark, 2 marks here. Oh wait, man. Right, this one. So you got this triangle. You got that. They're 90 degrees. That's nice. Parallelogram. Blah blah blah. Work out the perimeter of. What's it asking for here? It's asking for the trigonometry, right angle triangle. If you got, can you listen please? Now we haven't got trigonometry for a while, but I'm going to just say this. This is, if this was, let's say this is the 90 degrees. Let's say that is 76 degrees, and this side here, that's going to be the perpendicular. So that is the hypotenuse, which is 12. I want to find this side here, which is the base. So that's how you need to do it. So that's going to be labeled opposite. This is hypotenuse and this is the adjacent. Do you remember this? Yeah? So if we go, we need to find, first of all, let's write the triangles. Sunbathing on holiday can always harm the old age. So I want H and I want A. So that's straight away this triangle. So if I go in here and I put A is X, which we need to find. Cos is 76 and H is 12. So can you just do X equals, they're going to be times. We want to find X, so you times those. 12 times cos, somebody work it out please, 76. You know what? If you need something, do it yourself. You know what I mean? Right, so it does say to 1 decimal place, so that's going to give me, did you get 2.903? So that side's going to be 2.903. That's 2.903. That's 12, and that's 12. Work out the perimeter quickly. Hurry up. So add that, times that by 2. Add 24. 12 and 12 is 24. So come on, somebody shout out the perimeter. 1 decimal place, please.
29.8.
Come on, 29.8 centimeters. Job done. Very simple. I know the time is up. So we've done the last 2 questions. We've done that one. We've done that one. So the only one we left, I said that's a rotation. Now, can I just say on here, if you mention just the word rotation, clockwise, you already got a mark. I haven't put the center point, but it'd be somewhere around here. Now the next one, enlargement, scale factor 2, enlarge A, scale factor 2, 1, 2, right. 1, 2, was it coordinates 1, 2? 1, 2, here. So from here, you're going to, instead of going step 1, you go up step 2, because you use enlargement by 2. Instead of 2 there, you go 4. Instead of 2 there, you go 4. Instead of 1 there, you go 2. And that's going to be your enlargement by scale factor 2 of this shape A. So despite 1, I've gone quickly through all of those, so I hope that's helped. Make sure you go back and look at this and do your best. Paper 2, yeah?